Alright, so here we are at 3.4. Chapter 3.4, this is video A, the first video, talking about slope-intercept form of a line. In chapter 3.3, we talked about the slope of a line, and we talked kind of about what it looks like, how it should be graphed, the steepness of it, what it means, what the slope means. Basically, for every one step forward in x, you're going to have the slope changing, or the line changing either up or down, depending on the slope. And that's the number. Slope is just simply a number. So in 3.4, we're talking about the slope-intercept form of a line. So in general, if we're looking for writing a line, we're going to try to get to slope-intercept. We're going to write it into slope-intercept, and I'll remind you that later on as well. But for the first video, we're going to just kind of talk about the definition of the slope-intercept form. And in the whole overview of the chapter, we're going to try and, of the section 3.4, excuse me, we're going to talk about, number one, going from any form of a line, either ax plus by equals c, into creating a line, a graph of a line, and we're also going to go back and forth between seeing a graph of a line and creating a name for it, so we can kind of generalize about all the points on that line. So in the first step, though, we're going to talk about just kind of the definition of what the slope-intercept form of a line is. So I know that we've talked about what a general form of a line is. Ax plus by equals c is just a general form of a linear equation in two unknowns. Linear means that the x's and the y's are to the first power. We've got an equation, and therefore we've got just an x term and a y term and a constant term, and that's just kind of a generic form of a line. That is the standard form of a line. In general, though, we're going to look to create a slope-intercept form of the line, because that's going to give us a lot more information, and it will still give us a name of a line, kind of the name of the line being ax plus by equals c, or y equals mx plus b, something like that. That would be the name of the line, kind of describing all the points on that line. So from our knowledge of chapter 2, we can take that general form or standard form of a line, kind of modify it to get something like this, and that's the slope-intercept form of a line, y equals mx plus b. So if you're looking to maybe set up a cheat sheet or a study guide, add this to your study guide, and I would strongly recommend creating a study guide. The slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b, and remember, slope m, slope is m, and the point 0b, here's the b number, creates the y-intercept, or describes the y-intercept. So in general, from this form of a line, y equals mx plus b, when y is all by itself and there's a 1 in front of it and not a negative sign, when there's positive 1 in front of the y and everything else is on the right side, then we've got the number that's in front of the x as the slope. Slope is right here, so slope m is the slope, the number that's in front of the x term. B is, well, let's see, I'm going to modify that and say actually 0 comma b is the y-intercept. In other words, where the line intercepts with the y-axis. So there's some information that we can get from putting a general form or standard form of a line into y equals mx plus b format. We can actually get some information, the slope, and a number that gives us the y-intercept. So there's kind of the reason why we create or modify any line that we get and try to put it into slope-intercept form. All right, so let's just, in general then, let's take a look at these three lines. There's one line in red, and in blue, hang on a second, blue is right there. And we'll look at green as well. Here's a green line. I'll leave some space over there on the right just for a hint. So in general then, in the red line, we're going to say that if I've got things in this format, if I've got a line in this format, remember y is on the left side and it's 1y, positive 1y. In other words, there's no coefficient that's written here, but we understand that there's a positive sign. We understand there's a 1 in front of it. So if we've got y equals some x plus some number here, well, we can say that, well, here, you know what, what's my format for the line? Y equals mx plus b. Well, then therefore the number that's in front of the x term becomes my slope. So what's my slope? Slope is, actually we could put m more specifically, m equals 3. So our slope is 3. And our y-intercept is, well, you know what? We could probably put a b out here. What's our b? b is -1. So therefore, what's our y-intercept? Y-intercept happens when x equals 0. And if we're looking for maybe an xy term or xy description of our y-intercept, then the y-intercept happens when x equals 0 and when b is -1, especially for this line. So our y-intercept is 0, -1. All right, for the blue one, well, you know what? We do the same thing. Y equals mx plus b. Because I've got this, let's see, does it fit into this pattern up here? Does this line in the box fit into this pattern? Well, it looks like it does. Y equals mx plus b. So therefore, what's my slope? Slope m equals the number that's in front of the x term, the coefficient of that x term. So that would be -2.7. That's my slope. And what's my b term? B is +5, because the b term is right there. +5, positive, positive. All right, well then the y-intercept is at, y-intercept happens when x equals 0 and when b here, b is 5. So the y-intercept happens at 0, comma b, because y-intercept happens when x equals 0. The b here is 5. The b here is -1. How about this one over here? Take a little time and look at this one here for a second. Does it fit into our y equals mx plus b format? Well, the most important part of it is there a y all by itself with a 1 in front of it on the left side? Sure enough. So it does really fit into y equals mx plus b. So let's do the easy one. Slope is the number that's in front of the x, so slope m equals 4. Equals 4. What's my b term over here? Because the b, so it was -1 here. b is +5 here. What's the b that's right here? It's unwritten, so it has to be, let's say, +0. There's where our b is 0. So therefore, the y-intercept happens when x is equal to 0. And our b here is 0 for this specific line here. So keep in mind, if we have any equation of a line, this is something that's kind of foreshadowing if you're looking to use your English skills. Here's some foreshadowing. If we have any equation of a line, we can modify it by using the rules we learned in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 to put it into this slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b format. And when it is in that slope-intercept form, we can pull out the slope. And we can pull out the intercept, or actually we can pull out the b, and the b helps us to find the intercept. And both of these pieces of information, the slope and the y-intercept, are going to be really, really helpful to be able to get an idea of a graph of that line. And we'll see what happens, why we can do that, and what we can do with it in just a second in the next video.